to welcome everyone for the new series of Shimshon Pinkus on Shabbos. I would like to thank the Swarovski family for hosting the first series and pushing me doing that share. It's a big covered, and I want to thank my Chavusa, Dr. Swarovski, for learning it every week, learning it together, and it really changed my Shabbos since I'm doing that. We're doing it for about a year, and I would like to share everyone every Friday a short share about the importance of Shabbos from the Torah from Shimshon Pinkus. Before we start the series, we'd like to have say a few words about Rav Shimshon Pinkus himself. Rav Shimshon Pinkus was born in 1944 in America, and later on moved to Eretz Yisrael, married in Eretz Yisrael, and had different positions as Mashgiach in the yeshiva of Hakim, Rosh Yeshiva in Yerucham, and later on Rav Shach and the Stipler. They pushed him to take on the position as the chief rabbi of Hakim, where he served for about 20 years. He was a well-known speaker, a well-known darshan all around the world, in America, in Europe, South Africa, where he spoke in English, in Hebrew, in Yiddish, and where his drashas were full of passion and fire, where he drew the audience closer to Hashem, with his, on the one hand, simplicity, and on the other hand, he managed to teach deep and Kabbalistic Torahs to any audience. His main goal of the drashas was to bring every Jew closer to Hashem by teaching the importance of the mitzvahs, especially the Moyadim, Shabbos, Tefillah, where it demonstrates that every Jew, wherever far, wherever close he is to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, wherever he keeps, how much Torah he keeps, every Jew can live close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Pinkus was killed in a tragic car accident in 2001, together with his wife and one of his daughters. And today we have many Sfarim of Rav Pinkus. We have in Hebrew and English. We could basically divide it in two categories. There are some Sfarim which Rav Pinkus wrote himself during his own lifetime. For example, Shabbos Malkusa, Sharim B'Tefillah, Tiferes Torah. However, there are also many other Sfarim where there have been collections of his sichos, recordings of various drashos of Pinkus gave, and they were published after he was nifta. For example, the famous sichos of Shimshon Pinkus on the Moyadim, the Nefesh Shimshon, which we're going to use during our share, and Nefesh Shimshon on Tefillah, on the Munah, and Nefesh Chaya. Rav Shimshon Pinkus had a tremendous impact on Klal Yisrael, and it's felt till today. And there's one story I would like to share before we start the series. There was a man I got in a conversation about half a year ago, and he was originally from Russia, and he told me that as being a teenager, he wasn't so close, didn't know anything about Yiddishkeit. He knew he was a Jew, but he was involved in a youth program, and they tried to teach the students, to bring them closer to Yiddishkeit, to teach them about Torah, to start from the basics, and he wasn't interested. The whole group was drawn into it, and they were excited about it. And he told me he didn't feel anything, nothing spoke to him. And there was one Shabbaton, there was Shabbos afternoon, with the whole Chavah, everyone went to Shabbos Shudas. And I told him, come along, he wasn't really interested, so I'll stay home with myself, and he joined them. And he said he's sitting there in the Shabbos Shudas, listening to the drasha. He didn't listen to the drasha. He heard it with a half an ear, and then he heard the name of Shimshon Pinkus, a half a story, something. And he said, it sounds interesting. He was interested in the person. And he starts looking up Shimshon Pinkus, start learning his form, and eventually this is what brought him back to Yiddishkeit. And this man today has a family, established a from family, has children here in Eretz Yisrael, learning in Koilo. And over there, he today has an organization bringing Russian Jews, basically from the German-speaking area of Europe, back to Yiddishkeit, closer to Yiddishkeit. And this man had a great impact on me, start giving my first shurim. So Rav Shimshon Pinkus himself has a lot of schus in this series himself. So we like to start Nefesh Shimshon. And Rav Shimshon starts with the following idea that Shabbos, we find special about Shabbos is we don't have only Shabbos wherever it starts. We have Shabbos special because we have a Kabbalah Shabbos and we have Motzei Shabbos. We have the Malav Malka, which is something we don't have in any other mitzvah. We don't have any mitzvah, even Yom Tovim, that starts something with Kabbalah Shabbos. Any Yom Tov starts with the Bochu and the Ma'ariv and the normal davening, and off we go. But Shabbos has a Kabbalah Shabbos, has a special, we say the Pirkei Tehillim, we sing Lechadoidi, we say there's much more importance that is given to Shabbos before we come to Shabbos. And also Malav Malka, even though by Yom Tovim some say that there is an Inyan to have a Suda and Motzi Yantiv, but it's for sure not the strength of a Malav Malka. So we see something special that Shabbos has, that it's wrapped in from before and it's wrapped after with some extra cover and extra honor. Why is that? Why is Shabbos different? Another Nekuda of Shimshon points out that Shabbos has a personality. Shabbos speaks. We see in Ma'ameh Chazal, for example, in the Medrash, Beishas Rabbah, he says Shabbos came to HaKadosh Baruch Hu with a taina. Shabbos said, it's not fair, every day has a partner. Sunday has Friday as a partner, Monday has Thursday as a partner, Tuesday has Wednesday as a partner. I don't have a partner. And Hashem says, you know what? I'm going to give you Ben Zug. Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Knesset Yisrael hi Ben Zugcha. Klal Yisrael is going to be your partner. What is that? What do you mean Shabbos has a taina, Shabbos is offended, Shabbos is hurt, it's not fair, I don't have a partner? We don't find anything like mezuzah. Mezuzah is not complaining, well, I don't have a partner. Matzahs don't complain, even though the three that... So Shabbos we see has a personality. Shabbos has a feeling. Shabbos feels something that we need to honor, we need to respect, it's something we can love more than any other mitzvah. And Shabbos is a guest. We see that Shabbos is coming as a guest. So Shabbos Malkus is again a personality. We don't have any personality for shofar. We don't have any malachim. We say, the malach of shofar. But Shabbos is a malka. We say it's a queen that comes to our house. So we see there's much more to Shabbos than any other mitzvahs. And now Shimshon he brings a vort from he heard that he has from the Brisker Rov. The importance about Mekabel Shabbos, the importance about taking Shabbos and waiting for Shabbos. The Brisker Rov learns from the Psukim and Matan Torah. Matan Torah we saw that we also just didn't jump onto Mammon Hasinai. We didn't just come in there, Hashem threw the Torah on us and we continue. There was also a whole process of preparation, of getting ready for the Matan Torah. And there's basically to be divided into three categories. That Hashem said to Moshe that please make Klal Yisrael ready. And Moshe said that Klal Yisrael said that we want to listen to her. But Rashi says that they say that we don't want to hear it from Moshe, we want to hear it from you. So there was a point where the Jews said that we want to have closer, we don't want to have it through a shliach, we don't want to have it through a messenger, someone to, we want to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Hashem said, you know what, okay. But if you have Hashem and Moshe, Leich el Omi Kedashtem Hayom HaMocha, be you Mekadosh yourself. V'chibsu simloisam, and change your clothing, wash your clothing, wear what we call Shabbos clothing. Be ready for the third day. And the third day Hashem will come to you. Moshe, they took out, there was some, we walked, the Gemara Shabbos also said that there was, the Gemara discusses how did the Matan Torah look like, what did the people do the day before Matan Torah, 2 days before Matan Torah, and the Gemara ends up that the people were on the morning of Matan Torah, were on the move, were on the go. They had to go to Har Sinai. It wasn't open the window and watching from outside from the window. They had to go to Mount Har Sinai. So we have three things. We have number one is keep susim loisam, that they washed. They had to change the clothing for Matan Torah. We have number two, be ready. You had to be ready. They had to prepare yourself, not just run into it. Not we can go to Shachris. Yeah, we should. It says Chasim Rishonim. You have to prepare an hour before. But any mitzvah, we're not required for any special preparations. But over there in Matan Torah, they had to prepare themselves. And number three was to go out. They were going out. They had to go to Mount Har Sinai. They couldn't stay where they were. They had to pack in and go for a walk and go for this journey to be Mekabel of the Torah outside of the Machane. So it says of Shimshon, it says of the Brisker Rov, the same thing is we have for Shabbos. Shabbos we have the keeps us loisam. We have the mitzvah of Onuk Shabbos. We have the mitzvah to wear our Shabbos clothing. We have the mitzvah to wear the ties, whatever minute you have, with the bekesher, without the bekesher, the shtreimel, or ladies that wear the Shabbos clothing. So we have the mitzvah of kibsusim loisam. Number two, we have we can't just run into Shabbos. A Shabbos is a special chiyuv that we have to be ready for it. We shouldn't come in the last second and you have to do the last thing in the last moment when the sirens in Israel go on already before Shabbos. We have to be ready. We have to wait for Shabbos. We have to wait for Shabbos, not that Shabbos should wait for us. Again, because it's a personality. We can offend it. When Shabbos has to wait for us, it's getting offended. And the third thing is to go out, which is something which we don't have today, but the Kadmonians say the Kabbalah Shabbos. It's a famous saying in Tzfas, where the Rav Shema HaKabbos wrote the Lechadoidi, that they were out to the field. They went to the field. The Gemara said also they went out to the field. They took the talis and they went out to the field because you have to make Kabbalah Shabbos. You have Mikabel Shabbos, you have to go out. Obviously, the ladies, they can stay home and they light the candles and Mikabel the candles at home. But there's a certain thing which we can compare to Matan Torah. So this is so far for this week, and looking forward for you to join next week as well. Have a good Shabbos.